Go into any grocery store today, and you'll see the same phrase printed in bold letters on baked goods, sports drinks, and even baby formula: zero sugar. We've been trained to scan our labels, hunting for that phrase as a guarantee of safety. But there is a massive loophole in that protective shield. Food engineers have developed a specific factory-made carbohydrate that legitimately spikes your blood sugar higher than actual table sugar. Yet because of how it is legally classified, it bypasses every single sugar-free warning label we've been taught to trust. Ingesting this invisible carb drives serious biological consequences. It promotes severe insulin resistance, causes fatty liver, and triggers the rapid accumulation of visceral fat, the hard, dangerous fat that wraps tightly around your vital organs and chokes off your metabolism. And the scale of exposure is staggering. Because it goes unlisted as a sugar, the average person unknowingly consumes between 65 and 250 pounds of this specific, engineered substance every single year. Our total reliance on front-of-package marketing has created a dangerous blind spot. By trusting the words zero sugar, we are allowing a metabolic destroyer to hide right in plain sight on our pantry shelves. The culprit hiding behind those labels is industrial starch. On ingredient lists, it goes by a few common aliases: modified food starch, modified cornstarch, and finally, maltodextrin. This is not the type of complex carbohydrate you find in a traditional whole food like a potato. Maltodextrin is a highly refined, entirely artificial creation engineered in a factory. A natural starch is a complex web of molecules that takes time for your body to untangle. Maltodextrin, however, is structurally designed as a hyper-refined straight chain of pure glucose molecules built specifically for immediate absorption. Because of that artificial design, the moment it enters the liquid environment of your digestive system, it shatters instantly into free-floating glucose. This line graph tracking insulin levels shows exactly what happens next. The loose glucose molecules flood directly into your bloodstream all at once. In response, your insulin levels spike violently upward into the red danger zone, reacting much faster than they would to regular sugar. Maltodextrin's primary threat comes from its engineered delivery speed, hitting the bloodstream with a volume of glucose that overwhelms the body's natural processing limits. And the damage from that rapid absorption doesn't stop at a blood sugar spike. The destruction carries straight down into your gut microbiome. Inside your digestive tract, maltodextrin operates like a biological weapon. It starves your beneficial bacteria while actively feeding the harmful pathogens, allowing them to rapidly multiply and take over. This severe microbial imbalance triggers intense systemic inflammation. It begins right there in the digestive tract, spreads outward to cause chronic joint pain, and lays the biological groundwork for long-term disease. From there, the effects hit your cardiovascular system. Consuming this carbohydrate accelerates the synthesis of small, dense LDL cholesterol. These are the highly dangerous, jagged particles capable of wedging themselves deep into the smooth inner walls of your arteries. Every serving of this engineered starch forces the body into a state of chronic stress, damaging the gut and the arteries simultaneously. This brings up an obvious economic question. If maltodextrin offers absolutely zero nutritional value and is solely used to provide physical bulk to a product, why do food manufacturers put it in everything? Because it is absurdly cheap. For a manufacturer, a 25-pound bag costs literally $5. That is about 20 cents a pound. But that price isn't a miracle of the free market. The mass production of these industrial starches is heavily subsidized by taxpayer dollars. Government policies continuously incentivize the growth and processing of these crops. As a result, the food industry can easily inflate their profit margins on expensive health foods by packing them full of dirt-cheap, toxic fillers. Which means, as a consumer, you are caught in a triple pay trap. First, a portion of your taxes goes straight to the agricultural subsidies that make this ingredient so cheap to produce. Second, you pay a premium at the grocery store to buy the supposedly healthy product it's hiding inside. And then comes the third and most expensive tax. You pay the inevitable medical bills, medications, and doctor visits required to treat the metabolic damage you just paid to ingest. The food industry's legal definition of sugar has absolutely nothing to do with what your biology registers as sugar. To actually protect your metabolism, you have to ignore the bold marketing claims on the front of the box. The only truth is in the fine print on the back. If the ingredient list says modified starch or maltodextrin, put it back on the shelf.